Hi everyone, so my name is Brittany. Welcome to my channel, The Freed Bird and Her Word. So this is going to be like an introduction video, what my channel is going to be about, and then I'm going to do a little snippet of a book review. So we'll start out with the introduction. My name is Brittany. I'm originally from Florida and I find myself in Montana now. I will have to do like a whole backstory on how I even ended up here in the first place. Because I mean, those are two completely different states, two completely different weather conditions. So I will have to do a background story on how I even got here. I'm a Christian. I've been saved for about 2 years now. I got filled with the Holy Spirit and baptized in Jesus' name a couple of years ago. I'm Pentecostal. And we'll, in another video, I'll explain a little bit on what that means. And I know before I became Pentecostal, I didn't even know what Pentecostal was. It's in the Bible, they talk about the day of Pentecost, but as for me knowing what a Pentecostal was, I had no idea. I just, it was God led. So in another video, a different one, I'll go over that topic. Right now, I am a pharmacy technician and I'm working to, hopefully, God help me, to get my pharmacy technician license. It's so crazy. In this state, you basically can, if you work a certain amount of hours, you're eligible to take the test versus the traditional option, which is you go to school to learn about it, then you take tests, multiple tests there. Here, you could do that route, or you could just do, I believe it's 500 hours of work in a pharmacy as a pharmacy tech in training, and then you're able to get your license. Then you take the test, and then if you pass the test, then you're officially a pharmacy technician. So I'm in my process of studying so I can attain that. I used to be Air Force. I'm also vets. I love reading and writing and drawing. Basically, I love all the artsy, creative fields. And so that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to create this channel. Sorry, first video, so we're gonna see how it goes. But I really wanted to create this channel because I was tired of being placed in an occupational box by people. And I know some of you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about, but I know some of you do. I know a lot of people, when they are kids and they're growing up, a lot of their parents are like, oh no, you're gonna be a doctor, or oh no, you're gonna do something with math, or you're gonna do something with science. And then sometimes the kids, their interests are in those specific fields. For me, however, I really liked writing and I loved reading fiction and I loved drawing. So it was kind of like I would always get from my mom like, oh, well, what can you do with a degree in that? And like now I know there's a lot of stuff that you can do in that degree, but then at the same time I feel like I don't want my creativity to be controlled by another person, especially coming out of the military where it's kind of like that. I didn't want my creativity to be controlled. I wanted to do what I wanted to do with my creativity and the things that interest me, and not have someone over me saying, oh no, you can't do that, we need you to do this. Like, I feel like a good portion of my life has been, no, you can't do this, you're gonna do this. And so I'm creating this channel to say, no, Brittany was created with the love of writing songs and the love of writing fiction and drawing and thinking of like video ideas, and I am going to do that. And so that is why I came up with this channel. It took me a while to come out with a video, but that is why I have this channel. And as far as what this channel is going to be about, it's going to be about a lot of different things. One day I might decide to do book reviews, which is how I'm going to start off this channel. But then I might decide to just do a drawing video and just talk about, you know, my faith, talk about God, maybe talk about the things that I'm going through, in hopes that it helps someone that's also going through it and is like, I don't know what's going on. So this channel is gonna be whatever comes to mind, and it will be definitely God influenced. So right now I'm gonna start off with books, but if he takes me in a different direction with the channel, then I'm going to go in that direction. So I thank everyone that is watching the video and who is willing to go on this journey with me. And so before I get to rambling more about my life, I do want to talk about this one book that I got. So prior to this, I was kind of in a reading slump. I don't know. All my time has been consumed with like work and church and then studying. And so I lost that passion for reading for a little bit. So I would get a book. It'd be a really good book, but I wouldn't be able to like finish it, or I would just leave it knowing it's a good book, but I wouldn't have the desire to actually like finish it. And so I picked up this book, I believe from Barnes & Noble. Yeah, I got it from Barnes & Noble. It's called Meet Me in the Margins by Melissa Ferguson. And before, I didn't really know too much about this author. Since being saved, I really was trying to like stick to like the Christian, let's just call it Christian romance, because most of those books are romance that are in the Christian section. There's only a few that go into other topics, but most of them, they're like a little bit of slice of life and then romance. That's what they are. And so I stuck to the Christian section so much because like all the other books, like they had like stuff like sex scenes. They were like praising that kind of lifestyle, promiscuous lifestyle, drinking, drugs, alcohol, all that stuff. And I don't want to read that. Like I'm saved now. I'm filled with the Holy Spirit. I don't want to read stuff like that. Like and then the stuff they got out now is like, no. I'm not trying. Even the YA section is no longer a safe section, which is pretty sad. So I would just stick to that section, but I was kind of, a little tired of that section, because I was kind of like, well, I mean, I don't really the same books were in those, the same books would be in that section, which is another reason why I came up with this YouTube channel, wanted to do book reviews. I want to do book reviews for people that are like, hey, I'm Christian, I'm saved, I'm trying to watch what my eyes are consuming. I want to read books that are not in the Christian fiction section, but I don't know which books are saved. So it's kind of me reading it first, and if it's okay to read through the end, then I'll let you know, hey, it's okay to read it through the end. I found this, this, and this. Now, if it's just like some of the stuff I'm like, is like if it has a whole bunch of cussing, if it has sex scenes every other page, if it has sex scenes, period. Because when when you are a reader, you enjoy reading because you can visualize what's happening in your mind. You're that creative. You can imagine what's taking place when you reading a sex scene, you're imagining that. So, no, we're trying to stay out of that sin. We're trying to wait till marriage. So, I'm basically reading the books, and then I'll let y'all know, hey, this is a safe one to read. It's not in the Christian section, but it's safe to read. But that's why I'm doing these videos, starting them off with this kind of topic. And so I don't really know too much about this author. I did look up, she does have some other books that she has written. She's a bestseller. Some of the other books, and I have not, disclaimer, I have not read these books. So I don't know what's in it. I don't know if they have all the stuff, the dark stuff that I was talking about. But just a few of the other books are The Dating Charade, The Cul-de-sac War, and Famous for a Living. And that's just a few of the titles that she has. And so let's get on to the book. So I will say this book helped me get out of my reading slump. I read this book in, I want to say 2 days, but it probably was 1 day because I got it Friday evening. I read it till like 11, and then it might have been less than I'm gonna say a day because I got it Friday evening, and then I read it till 11, and then Saturday I started at like 8, and I read it till like 12:30 at night. So I want to say I finished it in a day, and I've never done that before. I love this book from the time that like I got it in Barnes & Noble, sat down just to give it a quick check over. I like completely fell in love with this book. I fell in love with the characters. Some of the highlights, so I'm gonna try to not give too much of the book away, but some of the things that I appreciated it not having, it did not have any sex scenes. There wasn't any like high, like, it's good to have chemistry, but then when the chemistry leans towards just the sexual aspect, those are like areas I try to avoid. So there's no sex scenes at all. There's only like one kiss that I read in the book, and it wasn't going into a whole bunch of detail about it. I believe there was one curse word, and it was a British curse word. If I am mistaken, please forgive me. I did not take notes when I read this one, but I knew for a fact that I did want to do a video on it, and I need to reread it, but there was just one curse word. I will say that when I read through it, like they were drinking beer, but like it didn't dawn on me that they were drinking alcohol until like the end. I was like, oh, this is a clean book. And I was like, wait, they was drinking beer. And so in some of the sections. So I mean, I came from the world, so, and I'm military, so the drinking I mean, I'm not a saint, okay? God has brought me from a lot of stuff, and one of those things was drinking alcohol. And so I kind of just bypassed it like, oh, that's nothing. But for some of you that are trying to avoid literature that has even a little mention of drinking, I would say maybe be mindful. It's just a few scenes that they have drinking. They're not getting sloppy drunk. It's just like maybe they're taking like a few sips. So I will leave that to you, whether you would want to pick up this book or whether you're like, no, absolutely no drinking, then that's great. I will not condemn you or nothing. The second thing is I absolutely love the main character. Oh, I loved her. She was so like, so this book, it follows the basic format of like, person gets into this editorial assistant, like I forgot the terminology. What's the terminology? A editor assistant, and oh, they love to write. Oh, but they haven't been able to do anything with their writing kind of trope. This book follows that trope. Um, but I absolutely love the main character. Her name is Savannah. Yes, I did forget her name because I mean I hadn't picked up that book since I have read it straight for 2 days and I'm busy. But her name is Savannah. I really liked it because she's actually has some funny lines in here. Like I read one part and it actually like made me laugh. And it's hard to get me to laugh at someone else's writing. So the fact that she made me laugh in like the first few pages, I was like, I like this character. And she's relatable. The issue she's going through isn't normal. I would hope it's not normal, but it just shows that, you know, everything isn't all peachy keen. And then she just has this job that's like, no, it's like all around, all around like, oh, that stinks. And so I really like the main character in this. I really like her, and I like the romance that's in it. I would say it's definitely a slow burn, a get to know you kind of romance. It's not love at first sight. It's more maybe intimidation at first sight. You would have to read the book to find out what I mean. But I love the romance. It made me like, Lord, that's what I want. So I love the romance. If I don't even think I want to do like a star system. I think this is a great read. There is some drinking mentioned in it. If you don't mind that, it's a good read. You know, there's nothing like really crazy or out there that's in it. So I would definitely recommend this book, and I'm so glad I have it. And I'm glad I took that leap, because I mean, when you step out of the Christian section, you is definitely taking a leap because you don't know what you about to encounter in those waters. So I'm glad I took this leap, and I really love this book, and I want to read it again, but I need to like actually have time to do it. And then I did like the unique way of how the characters interacted with each other. The two protagonists. The two protagonists, I liked how they fell in love. That part was very unique. I have not seen that. I really like that part because I mean, I love books. Like, who wouldn't want to like get to know someone that way? It's super cute. I love this one. Ugh, this staying with me forever. And okay, so that's the end of reviewing that one. And then just to show you a couple of books that I'm going to get started on. And I got one of these from Target. And so this one is called The Wicked Ones, and it's by Robin Benway. Hopefully I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I'm so sorry. But okay, so this book, I was so excited when I saw it inside of Target. And that's because a few months ago, I went to a conference in Washington, and we had some free time. And so I went to one of the bookstores in that state. I mean, why not? And so I saw this book on the shelf, and I started reading it a little bit, and I was like, ooh, I really like how this is written. So it's basically about Cinderella's stepsisters. I don't really know too much of where the timeline is. It seemed like it's like right before the ball, or maybe it's a segment like before the ball was even a thing. And so I really wanted to read this. I wanted to get the book in Washington, but for certain reasons, I did not get it. I was like, well, it'll come to my state, and I'll just wait. And so, I was so excited when I saw it in Target. I was like, I have to get this book. I have to get this book, and it's a little less pricey than the bookstore in Washington. So I was happy about that too. And I'm gonna be reading it. I might do like a few little bit videos, just letting you guys know how the book is going. If I see anything that I'm like, I don't know about that, I will let you guys know as well. But this is one of the books that I will be reading, and I'm so excited. I started reading it a little bit. Like, I'm on this page. As you see, I just started, so I have a lot more to go. I do feel a little bit cringy because, like, I mean, we all know how things ended for the stepsisters in, like, the first movie. Like, they weren't picked by the prince. And so I get a little bit of cringe because I'm like, I don't know, I get a little bit of cringe because, like, I know how this plays out, and it's like, ooh, it's all this, ooh, I just feel for y'all. And it's always nice to get, like, actual in-depth knowledge about the character. Because, I mean, in the movie, at least the first one, you just knew they were mean. But you didn't know why they were mean. They were just mean. So I feel like this book is going to explain exactly why they are mean. And so I can't wait to read it. I'm so excited. And look how pretty the cover is. Like, just look at it. That's gorgeous. Like, it looks like they did, like, I don't know what it's called, but it looks like they just formed paper and they made the shapes and they did like the outlines and stuff. I think that's really pretty. And then the fact that it's kind of like a little heart, and then it has like all these items around, like the musical notes. And at the very bottom is like a mouse. So I just thought that was pretty cool that they did that. And then I have one more book. I don't know how this book is gonna, I was nervous. I was like, ooh, there's a black girl on the cover. And then I was like, ooh, the man is cute. But then I'm like, ooh, I don't know how this gonna play out. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish it. But I did get the book Queen Charlotte, and then it's by Shondaland. I believe I'm saying that right, or maybe I'm not. So Shondaland. So it's both of their names. I thought those were the actor and actress's names. So it's by Julia Quinn and Shonda Rhimes. And so I heard of the Bridgertons. I don't watch TV, so I didn't really know like what was really up with that. I just knew a lot of people liked it. But then I saw the cover of this and I was like, this cover is gorgeous. And you know what? A lot of the times I pick books based off of how their cover looks. So if the cover draws me in, then I'll read a few pages and then I'll determine if I want to continue reading it or not. And this book, I like fell in love with this too. I'm like, don't hurt me. So I'm gonna be reading this. It throws out cuss words here and it throws out a few cuss words. Let me just be blunt. It throws out a few cuss words, and there's already have been like a slight mention of like sexual acts. It didn't go explicit. It was between a married man and his wife, but I'm like, strike one. So I'm like, I'm reading it, I'm enjoying the dialogue, and I love Charlotte. But at the same time, I'm cringing on the inside because I'm like, is this gonna have a sex scene in it? If it has a sex scene in it, I cannot read the book and I need to just go ahead and get rid of it. Or maybe just keep it for the cover. Because the cover, look at the cover. I mean, it's gorgeous. Look at it. That's pretty. So I'm hoping, I really am hoping that it doesn't have any of those like sex scenes in it. I'm hoping that the cussing dies down because I'm like, okay, it pops up every once in a while, but it's like, come on now, like there's other words. There are other words to use. So I hope that I can get through. And this was so good. I kind of like just flipped all the way to the end just to read the little, like how it ends. And I'm like, I need to see how this ends. But if it's like something that the Holy Spirit is like, no, nope, then I will not read it. So this one, Tricky Waters. Cover's beautiful. I love the story. I absolutely love how the queen met the king. That part, I like had to bookmark it because I was like, I like that. I really liked how they met. It is so cute. It was so cute. So cute. So we shall see how this one goes. I might not be able to finish it. Who knows? And I did try to flip through to see if they had any explicit detailing of any acts, but I haven't seen anything so far. So let's hope that it's a clean novel because I love how they got together, and I'm like, I like it. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes. I might end up not having to read it, but only time will tell. But that cover is stunning. Just admire the cover. Look how stunning that is. Look at that. Look at her outfit, her crown, jewels. Like, oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, it's so cute. I love it. Okay. Well, I thank you all for watching my video. I will try to have a schedule of at least once a week. It's kind of hard. I'm kind of like pushing just to get this one out and done. And then I gotta look over it. But I thank you for watching. If you want to join me on this journey, please hit the subscribe button. Press the notification button so you see when I do upload. And please hit the like button for me. And I hope you guys have a great day. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.